Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Marvel Monday, the very first of 2021. Back after a little bit of a holiday break. You can see that I've replaced Steven with a French press. He won't be here this week, so I decided to do some solo streams. If you missed the schedule, today's Marvel Champions, I'll be doing the second part of my Rise of Red Skull campaign. I started a solo campaign a couple months ago with Spider-Man. I actually built an aggression deck and liked it significantly more than I ever thought I would like an aggression deck. So super happy to be diving back into that. There have been some new cards that have come out since I originally built that deck. So I spent some time on the break just looking at the deck builder Marvel CDP, making some adjustments. I'll be putting that together in a second live and asking for some feedback and thoughts from everyone out there. Before we dive in, Steven's not here, and you know, technology is not necessarily my strong suit. So how do we look? How do we sound? Everything seem normal at this point. When we flip down camera, that'll be the next thing I'm like nervous about for like focus reasons, but hopefully all of that's working. And before I dive into deck building and all that kind of stuff, I'd love to hear from everyone out there in chat. How was the holiday season? Hope everyone's doing well. It was really, really weird, honestly, going from, you know, daily live streams, seeing Steven every day, to a couple weeks off where really my wife still had to work quite a bit. So I was just at home painting a lot and doing a lot of reading, but doing not a lot of talking, which particularly this week on solo streaming, I'll be doing a lot of talking and a lot of thinking. But it's definitely been a different kind of couple weeks. Dana says, I'm not hearing Steven right now. Yeah, he's out here. I Play Purple saying, sounds great. Awesome. Chuck saying, he had an awesome Christmas and New Year. That's awesome. To have anyone do anything exciting or interesting or notable over the break? Mine was not. I did a lot of painting. That was it. Painting and reading. Dider saying, I spent a week with the in-laws. I deserve a Covenant Flesh and Blood subscription for enduring that. Can we do something about that? Currently, we are sold out. It's possible that we will end up with some more slots opening. If that happens, that'll be in the next couple weeks or next month or two. So definitely hop on the wait list if you want to try to get that subscription. Jeff saying holidays were lonely but quite gamey, so fine nonetheless. Yeah, it was weird. I had a couple of very, very small, us and one, my brother and his wife, gatherings for Christmas and New Year's, but typically we have very big family Christmas, and then a friend, Matt, throws a New Year's party every year, so very weird. What up, Aaron? Aaron Clark says, Zach, so glad you're back. It was nice to be away from work. Yeah, I agree. Not seeing Steven for a couple of weeks I'm just kidding. Taking a few weeks off is actually really important. We're talking about this. I was talking with Jonathan and Bryce just before we went live, but taking some time away definitely just gives you a new perspective on everything you're doing on a regular basis. So it's a nice thing to do. Zaruka is saying at least the French press Steven is staying in there. Yeah, you always got to have it. Eddie spent the weekend playing Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. I saw someone with I think it was on Reddit, their wife got them this giant storage solution for Gloomhaven. And like, I've played a lot of games. And one of the other big things I did on my break is really played the game outside the game of Flesh and Blood, the collection side. We're going to be doing a lot of constructed streams coming up, full constructed. So I basically I sorted and organized all my stuff just to make sure I knew what I had enough copies of, what I was looking for, what I had extra copies of, did a lot of trades over the internet with various people. And even as like many games that I've played, just seeing the storage solution for Gloomhaven was like terrifying to me at like how intense it looked. So I'm curious, like how do you recommend it? How would you define it in terms of like just general involvement to even start trying to play that game? I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't really looked into it. David Peterson wants a Spider-Man or a Spider holiday token update. Yeah, hopefully that's resolving soon, like the next week or two soon. Ran into a number of issues with that and then the standard holiday tokens, but both of those seem to be rounding the corner. This is literally my first day back in the office, so I'm still not fully up to date on exactly what's happening with everything, but I do know there was a lot of progress made, and hopefully that gets solved sooner than later. Funkula is saying, did you and Steven ever finish your B-side decks for Arkham Dream Eaters? If so, are they on ArkhamDB? They're not on ArkhamDB. I have not built mine yet, but they will be. So we have a Team Covenant ArkhamDB account, same thing with Marvel Champions, that we try to build the decks in and post there, so you can find them all under the same account. But that'll definitely be out before we dive into Dream Eaters next week, presumably. Psych Ogre saying lots of game outside the game for me with Flesh and Blood as well. Benjamin says I start a solo, the Circle and Done stream with a Preston deck and it's going surprisingly well. That's awesome. Jeff says Gloomhaven was my first pandemic buy last year. Should pick it up again soon. Colin, what are the French Press's view on Spycraft? The French Press does not like Spycraft, along with everyone else here at Team Covenant. I Play Purple saying the full Gloomhaven is intense. Prepare to Game stores all of the Gloomhaven in its own box, with 3 big Plano boxes for monsters and tokens. Yeah, I mean, it seemed crazy. Warner asking, Zach, how's life treating you? It's ultimately good. We did a couple of podcasts at the end, the last 2 episodes that we did. One was looking at 2020, one was looking at 2021. And honestly, just a tremendous amount of gratitude for everyone who watches the streams all the time, who's been buying our products like the Cosmic components that are compatible with Champions, all our subscribers, people that have signed up to get products through us, and our content members. All those, the combination of all that definitely made 2020 go way better for us than I think any of us expected back in March and April, when there was a lot of unknowns and it was pretty scary. So it's really just been amazing. We've got a lot of really, really kind messages through Community, which is a platform we use to text with people over the break, and honestly just feeling incredibly grateful for where we're at and the people we have in our community that have been supporting us this whole year. So definitely went through some family stuff last year, lost my dad. But otherwise, you know, had some family members get corona, but no one's been, you know, had it super serious, I guess, is the best way to do it. So all in all, across the board, for me, just feeling super grateful and fortunate that doing as well as we are. Yeah. Prepared Game says the new office still looks snazzy. Love the mug. If someone sent this to me, it was an anonymous gift. It's Rey and Kylo from Destiny, which is one of my favorite decks for any game ever, and I love this mug. Christopher says, Zach, have you seriously drank all that coffee? You must be wired. So no, I haven't. I made a half batch because Steven's not here, but typically we make a giant French press, and there's usually someone here from Ops who's like packing orders and stuff, so I'll go fill up a cup over there, and then Steven and I usually have a cup or two. But I had 1 cup this morning, and then this is my first cup out of that French press. And my browser randomly just shut down, so hopefully you can still see and hear me. Let's see what happened here. But I can't see chat currently. Now's the time if you want to say something and not have me see it, but have everyone else see it. Now would be the time to chat. Can you hear me, Bryce? We good? Great. Luckily, my computer has nothing to do with the actual stream. It's just here so I can read chat and interact with everybody. We're saying I can still see you, but you can't see me. That would actually be pretty wild. I don't really watch it regularly, but my wife had an episode of, I think it was The Voice on, and they had the judges, and back behind the judges was like thousands of screens of people that were watching it live because they couldn't have audiences. And so it would be pretty insane if we could just like see a bunch of people watching. I think it would feel weird. A lot of times when we're playing and hanging out, it just feels like Steve and I are hanging out playing like we normally have over the years. And so I don't know. I consider myself an introvert, so the idea of actually being able to see thousands of people at once would probably be terrifying. I Play Purple asking for an update on Champions holiday tokens or spider tokens. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done solving some problems. And if you hop on the waitlist for the holiday tokens, we don't have a waitlist building for the spider tokens yet. But crossing my fingers that in the next week or two, those will be in stock and we'll be able to keep the process going. If we run out, sign up for the wait list and we'll get them back as soon as we can. Ben Sweeney saying we could send in cardboard cutouts. That would be funny. Metroplex asking for an Ashes update. So like I said earlier, this is my first day back in the office. I had a very full email inbox. I've been going back and forth with people all day. So we should have an update in terms of when that upgrade kit, the first thing coming through that subscription, is going to be coming. Hopefully in the next couple days. That'll be public because it's supposed to be January. We don't have any official confirmed signals at this point. So we'll see what Plaid Hat says. I know that there's just a lot of stuff I'm not 100% in the know on right now. James saying, Happy New Year. You guys got me into Champions. Keep up the great content. Well, that's awesome. This is a great community, a great game. Happy to introduce you to both, and glad to have you here.
Happy New Year, Zach.
Hey, it's Steven.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm just moving. I had to pick up this mail.
Good to see you.
How's it going? Are you solo in Champions?
I am solo in Champions.
Is it going well? Are you doing heroic?
I haven't started playing yet. I'm just talking with people.
All right.
Have a good one. I didn't know what was happening. There was just a lot of noise coming from over there, and I couldn't see because of the lights. I'll send you regards, Thomas, to Steven. Sam said, any news on the Arkham Horror tokens and boards? I can't wait for the Dunwich board to be back in before I order. So we actually have had a materials issue with that Dunwich board. The metal that we were basically using to make the coloring the way it was started turning out very different. Same supplier, same material that we were ordering, like the raw material to make it look like that. So we're trying to work through that, but there is no guarantee that that will be back in stock at any point. I think there's a wait list on the website for it, but that was definitely like a strong yellow light. Honestly, it was a red light. We had to stop immediately because they just look so different than what we had been producing for years randomly. So who knows? Blade saying, hey, Zach, sorry if someone already asked this. Any update on when Wasp will ship for subscribers? So our subscriptions typically charge about 2 weeks out. We actually charge these a little bit early because what happens when we charge is anyone who has like a failed payment, your address changed, your card expired, you got a new card replacement because it got stolen or something. You get the automatic email that says, hey, your payment's failed. You have 3 days to fix this. And as long as you fix it within 3 days, everything's cool. But if you don't, then it basically automatically cancels your subscription. We hop you out of the queue to get that product, and things move on. So what we didn't want to do, because of the when those were supposed to be coming out, is charge people it would literally have typically been on Christmas Day. Because if anyone failed, we didn't want them not to see that notice because of holidays and stuff, and then not get the product because they just didn't see the email in time. So we charged a little bit early. But then recently we heard everyone was saying hi.
I just gotta water this plant.
I watered it.
Did you today?
Yep.
Anyway, sorry.
You're good.
My plant.
My greenery. Anyways, so we got word, again, this is my first day back in the office, but we got word that it was being delayed. And we don't really have very many details. So we don't know when it's going to ship. We don't know why that's happening or what's going on, but we're working to find out. And one thing you can know is that if you've been charged for that product, we're going to get it out to you as soon as possible. And if anything weird is going to go on outside of it just getting shipped to you, we will definitely be in touch and let you know. Chuck says, same here. I came for Flesh and Blood. Now I'm addicted to Champions. Well, they're both great games. Hopefully you're enjoying them both. Chris says, loving the Steven pop-in. I was not expecting Steven to show up today. Prepare asking, is this something you can answer on stream? I figured I would ask because of the Wrecking Crew podcast. Do you have Wasp in hand? No, we don't. We're still waiting on it. It got delayed for some unknown reason. Trap It, I did. I had a really nice break. I was very chill, very low-key, very non-social. As an introvert, it was just like maximum charging of my batteries. Blade, of course, yeah. We'll always do everything we can to make sure those get into your hands as fast as we can legally get them to you. At this point, there's just nothing we can do or say. And we'll also communicate when and where possible. So if we have anything worth saying or if anything significant is changing. So if we don't have word in the next week or two, we'll definitely be reaching out to specifically say, hey, this is delayed for some reason. But at this point, we're still just waiting for kind of the follow-up. Jay asking if FFG shuttered their forums. Yeah, apparently they were closing them down. which is not exactly surprising. I think we even had a lot of kind of forum-based stuff on our website for a long time, but the advent of Discord and Reddit and Facebook groups and just kind of the way the world is going makes it a little archaic unless your forum is kind of the place to be. Yeah, cool. Well, I need to build a deck. I have it mostly built. James asking a good question. He says, will you continue to stream even when your store opens / new schedule? Yeah, we'll probably keep, I mean, we were streaming on Mondays beforehand anyway. We kind of loosely talked, hey, can you do me a favor? On your way out, can you hit the button that flips me down to the bottom screen?
Oh, yeah, I can.
The chat loves getting the Steven pop in, even if they don't get to talk to you.
We got a little new backdrop for this.
Is that a new plant?
No, it's just...
Or did you just... Hi, Shannon.
Some of them are outside and they're supposed to go in different places, but that one's good for now. We got to get the other one on life support. Yes, I did that. You want a drink?
You're randomly making drinks?
Sure.
I'm not going to not take one. Excellent.
That one's not in a good pot, though.
Plants. It's beyond me. Thankfully, Steve and Shannon are here. You're asking the question if we're going to stream even when the store opens. Yes, we will. It's really hard to envision a future where we're not streaming regularly, just for as far as the eye can see. But, you know, a year ago, if you'd asked me, do you ever see yourself streaming 5 days a week? I would have said no. So, you know, it's tough to predict exactly what's going to happen, but the response to the streams, both through like direct support, content members, subscribers, product purchases and stuff, and then also just the response, some of the message we were receiving when we weren't streaming for the past couple of weeks, it was really amazing. When we started streaming, we had no idea how or if it was going to work economically for us, but we knew a lot of people would be stuck at home. And so one of the reasons we were doing it was just to give people a place to hang out and be a part of the community that they wouldn't really get to in a pandemic situation. And the direct confirmation of that being true for people is very meaningful to us. So for you know that reason alone, it's probably worth doing a certain amount of streaming, but the combination of all of that has been really incredible. Michael saying, will you play some games of X-Men Mutant Insurrection when it comes out next month? I already pre-ordered a copy, but I'd love to see it. It's possible, but it's not currently on the schedule. We'll see. Alex says, just tell him to sit down and join in. Shannon's here with him, his wife. I do not think that is going to be a good case to make. I Play Purple saying, is Steven my bartender on his week off? I mean, I suppose in a weird way, yes, for today. Aaron Clark, is today the day we finally get to see Steven cooking while Zach plays? We've talked about doing that kind of a show often. Frank says, Happy New Year. I got Arkham for Christmas and can finally watch your Friday streams without knowing what's going on. Great game. It is a phenomenal game. Matt is saying, hey, Zach, why are you alone? So technically, Steven is off of work right now, even though he showed up to work and is currently making me a drink. He's off for the entire week. They've been building a house out on their property for a long time. It's been a crazy process. And so crossing the fingers, I think it's supposed to wrap. I mean, it's supposed to in... Steven texted me last night. He's like, it's as sure as it has been at any point. But they're supposed to be wrapping it up very soon, last couple of steps, so taking some extra time to deal with that. You good, Bryce? Okay, great. I got nervous there. You were waving. You still waving? You good? Okay, freaking me out. John saying, well, we appreciate... that you guys took the time to make so much content for us to keep us going during the crazy time. Yeah, I mean, it was great for us too, right? I mean, it's the past couple of weeks not doing it definitely felt like I was way more isolated than when we were streaming. So it's a little bit for your sanity and a little bit for our sanity. Michael saying, glad to see you're still using the mug. I am. Bradley asking, favorite card Marvel Champions? That's easy. Aunt May. Speaking of Aunt May, let's take a look at Spider-Man. I won't look at the signature pool because we've done that a lot. If you missed the first time I played this campaign, I played against Crossbones already, and Absorbing Man ended up with 4 delay counters before I was able to take care of Absorbing Man. I am playing on Expert solo. My next match is going to be against Taskmaster, which I'll be getting ready. But I need to put together my actual Spider-Man deck. David saying, good evening from the UK. I'd like to thank you all for the great content you provide. Happy to have you here, David. You mentioned you're from the UK. One thing I used to do, I'll do it at least one time here in 2021. When we were streaming early on in the pandemic, I would always ask people basically where they were watching from, and it always blew my mind. So I'd love to know where everyone today is watching from, see how far we span. Bradley saying Aunt May is one of my favorites too. Yeah, she's phenomenal. Maybe one of the best cards in the game. Right up there with Spycraft. Just kidding, I don't like Spycraft. Andrew, been watching the Netrunner videos and the Marvel Champs videos and streams. Got myself all of Marvel Champions because of it. Because of you guys, and started in Jinteki with Netrunner because of you too. Netrunner is one of the best games ever. So it's amazing what that community is doing and the ability to play online. And then Champions is also fantastic. Great community, great game. I'm a sexy dinosaur asking, what mechanic would you like to see put in Marvel Champions? I don't know. Mechanically, I'm always in favor of like minimal and reducing. So adding mechanics makes me nervous. Hey, thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
It's actually a Manhattan.
Well, that's like a.
We don't have any citrus. Makes sense.
How did they daiquiri us last? Oh, Robert probably brought the fresh.
Yeah, because you know.
Manhattan is an old fashioned's cousin though, so I'll take it.
Right. And I've tried to get good at them because most people think they're bad. Also, tell Bryce hi. Hi, Bryce.
Will do. Shannon, this look that you have right now is amazing. Just so you're aware. It's if I just like walk around the corner like that, I would die.
That's our hip COVID look.
That's right.
Today, man.
Thank you. Enjoy. Good luck with the house.
Everybody on the stream too. I miss everybody dearly.
Steven says hi and then he misses you. See you guys. Steven, it's delicious. He's good at cocktails. Early this year, last year, it was like a year ago, I was over at his house and he randomly just made me an old fashioned, and it was just like, I do not know why we ever buy these. No, very rarely do you find people that can make good cocktails out. A lot of you guys checking in. This is what I'm saying. It's incredible that this is what is just happening this is the first Monday of the year. For a lot of people, this is like not a great day because you just had a holiday off. You just had holidays to celebrate. A lot of people are probably back to work. And I've saw a lot of people tweeting like, oh man, I have to like go through this again. But again, going back to just feeling very fortunate. The fact that I'm sitting here and there's people watching from all over the world is mind-boggling. Kansas City, Belgium, Poland, Austin, Texas, Netherlands, Germany, Pennsylvania, Niagara Falls, Canada. Torres88 from Chicago, what up? Michael saying Tulsa local, happy to have you. Poland. Brandon, thank you. Did have a great New Year's and Christmas. Hey, Frankie, missed you over Christmas. Is Arkham back on Friday? Arkham won't be back this Friday. Steven's out this week, so we'll be starting Dream Eaters next week. That's like what's currently on the schedule. Vienna, that's awesome. Cleveland, Portugal, Canada, Netherlands, Quebec, Baltimore, Massachusetts, England, UK, Alabama, and it goes on. Sweden, I'm just going to say countries at this point. Turkey that I haven't seen. Randy says this is his second favorite drink. What's your favorite drink, Randy? Amazing. New Orleans, Honolulu, Louisiana. It just keeps going. Connecticut, from France. I think that was the first time I saw France today. El Paso, Texas as well. Basically its own country. Yeah, Michael, USPS has been crazy this December. I've personally shipped a handful of things that just stayed in Tulsa for like a week or two, and then they finally started processing. He placed 2 orders for various holiday stuff. The first one he still doesn't have, but the second one he's already got. They're trying, but it's just they're being bombarded with shipments. Randy saying Old Fashioned is a favorite. That's my favorite as well. Daniel saying Long Island iced tea. My friend Ben, that's his favorite. B. Chris from Oklahoma. Amon asking, what's the best deck from the core for solo? I would have bet that I think Spider-Man's fantastic solo. But I don't know. Iron Man takes, and Black Panther take a little bit of building. She-Hulk has a lot of health, so I think she could get it done. She has some thwarting. But I think Captain Marvel is definitely the best hero in the core set, just generically. So that's probably a good place to start. Sea Falcon, is Steven trying to sabotage your playthrough with a drink? I don't know. I think it probably helps. Yeah, I play purple saying Captain Marvel Justice. That's one of the best decks in the game, just strictly. And the core set version, like if you're just playing with core set cards, isn't going to be significantly different than the full collection. Dan, no updates on the Spider board. That thing ran into production albatross. Just crazy. We ran into so many issues with that product. It make your head spin. It will make your head spin. All right, so I have a list real quick. I'm going to reference to put this together. So I'm playing Spider-Man Solo Aggression. I think I have one combat training. Yep. Do I have Chase Them Down in here even? I currently don't. Don't get too angry here. Relentless Assault, is that in there? Yeah, I have 2 of those in. Toe-to-toe. Toe-to-toe is fantastic in Spider-Man. You play the card, you pay 1, and then the enemy attacks you, and then you deal 5 back to that enemy. So the reason that's so good in Spider-Man is, especially in Solo, 5 damage is a ton for 1. But he also gets to draw a card when he gets attacked. So if you play this, you basically play it and 1 card and get a card back. So you're essentially discarding 1 card and doing 5. You obviously are taking an attack, but a lot of times you'll have a villain that has like 1 attack in this, or you'll have an ally that like you'll play a Nick Fury and he can do his thing and then you block. So Toe-to-Toe is an incredible card. I think it's really synergistic with Spider-Man particularly, and I'm trying to do damage as fast as possible. Counterattack kind of synergizes with that. So basically, you can attach to your hero. After you take damage from an attack, you can discard it to do that much damage to an enemy. So a lot of times with Spider-Man 2, I'll be sitting on, I'll have Aunt May, which means I can do my Spider-Man thing, and then I can flip down, recover 4 with Aunt May. Then the next round I can recover 4 with Aunt May and flip back to Spider-Man. And when I flip down, I get that free resource. So if I haven't actually taken very much damage, counterattack / toe-to-toe is a really great way to basically have them forcibly attack me, get my card back, do a bunch of damage to them, flip down, and have damage to actually heal. Let's see, Piercing Strike, I think I dropped that ultimately. You guys convinced me to play it last time and I did not end up liking it. 2 Relentless Assault. I didn't, Martial Prowess is not in. Let's look at the allies. Sentry, he's in. Not She-Hulk. We've been playing as Kang Heroic when we're playing our standard mode, and the card pool, it definitely looks like the kind of card pool after you've been really grinding out games trying to figure out how to beat something, as in it's a total mess. Skilled Strike, is it in? 2. So I'm missing a stack of cards. Let's look. Found them. All right, let's see. Looks like Steven was playing Thor Aggression, which is probably where a lot of the cards I'm going to want to play are. Andrew Ferguson saying it took me 8 runs to beat Expert Kang. Finally took him out with Justice Ant-Man. Yeah, he's no joke. I'm Sexy Dinosaur saying, I challenge you to play a solo deck with all the cards you told yourself are terrible and would never play with. I'll do that at some point. Eamon saying, which expansion pack is the best value? Red Skull. Red Skull is high value because it's a campaign with 5 villains that you can play. I think its replay value is really high. But it also comes with Hawkeye, Black Widow, and cards for each of them. So it's kind of like 2 hero packs and 5 villains all rolled into one. Definitely a incredibly high value expansion. All right, I'm going to sort out all the Thor cards really quick. All right. Brando, yeah, it's Spider-Woman, not Black Widow. All right. Let's go back to my list. Hulk, yep. Spider-Girl, yep. Sentry, wherever he's at. Sentry's already here. And Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie. All right, there's my allies. You'll pay for that. There's another card. Let me find it. I think I saw the third one at the bottom of this aggression stack. There it is. So you'll pay for that. So when you're playing solo, really, you need to be able to do damage and remove threat. Those are the two primary roles in the game. So when I'm looking at a hero to choose for solo and what cards I'm going to include, Spider-Man particularly has a 1 thwart. So he's not going to be doing a lot of threat removal that way. You need some amount of cards that can deal with threat. And it's a balance because I'm playing aggression. So I'm way less concerned with dealing with threat and way more just ending the game fast enough for it not to matter. But you'll pay for that is, again, just synergistic. I want the villain to attack me. And so that's a clean way to remove threat on kind of an off turn. All right, next we need Relentless Skilled Strikes there. I need Toe-to-Toe. Is that in here? I already have Toe-to-Toe. Combat Training, Counterattack. All right, so I think 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, plus the neutrals, Black Cat's in, Nick Fury and Mockingbird. Mockingbird. Where are you, Nicholas? Okay. Backflip, Spidey sense. The 3, the trifecta of resources. Strength, Genius, Energy. I am playing the Helicarrier and I'm going to actually guess the Queen Carrier's in one of these decks. Okay. And then Endurance is the last card. Endurance in solo is good. All right. I never thought I'd say those words, but here we are. Let me sleeve up. Let me go back to chat. All right, I need to know. This is the deck currently. Anyone have any major like, hey, this is a mistake, you shouldn't be doing this? I think Helicarrier and Queen Carrier are pretty close to, I don't know if I should be running it. But the way this deck plays, I win or lose fast. So I don't know that I have time to really invest in it. I like Queen Carrier because Black Cat can fish out mental, and then it can generate the wilds. And so some of my cards want, like, you know, Relentless Assault as an example, but it's really just a resource to be able to play. Steven, yeah, I definitely think one of the problems with Kang Heroic is the fact that he can basically deconstruct whatever it is you build. And so if you can't play the high cost stuff, and you need to basically have a lot of stuff at whatever cost you are playing. So if you have a lot of 2s or 3s, I think leaning into that so that you have options when he would discard your highest cost thing is super helpful, but you can't just be caught with like a 4-cost Avengers Mansion out that he just discards. I'm going to look through the aggression cards really quick. Because I think I run Queen Carrier and not Helicarrier. And then I basically have one slot. Team building exercise isn't bad. But I don't think it's right. Amon is saying, how do you decide what to mulligan? I'll mulligan in a minute. Vincent's saying, did you kick Steven out just to call yourself solo? That's funny. I did not. But that's a good a reason as any. Randy, I mean, I think the thing about Hulk for me is at 2 cost, if he swings once and discards himself immediately, I'm fine with it. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 3, 4, 5 mental that I'm optionally choosing here. Technically 6 if you count Genius, which is not that many out of like 25, 30 cards. So the reason I'm not running Mansion is the game's not going to go long enough for me to use that. Like, I'm just not going to get the value out of it. Melee is not a bad option in case I get ganged up on. Might put 1 melee in. Wherever it's at. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, 9, 12. I do have an extra slot. I wonder, let me see if I'm missing something. Three, 2, 3. What am I missing? Hulk, Mockingbird, Nick Fury, Sentry, Spider-Girl, Valkyrie. You'll pay for that times 3. Relentless Assault times 2. Skilled Strike times 2. Toe-to-toe times 3. The 3 resources. Helicarrier, Queen Carrier. Combat training. Counterattack. I had 2 counterattacks in. Good catch. So the problem with melee is it's mental. We're back to that old conundrum. So I'm going to roll it like this, and if it goes poorly, we'll reassess. Now, I also have, going back to the campaign, the 2 upgrades I've chosen are basic attack upgrade, so +1 hit point, +1 attack, and then laser cannon. So at some point, I can deal 5 damage to the villain and every enemy. I'm kind of counting on that to bail me out when it's like super needed for me to deal with a bunch of enemies that I otherwise really wouldn't be able to deal with. Trap it saying good luck. Daniel saying Zola, always laser cannon. Devin saying, is FFG in trouble? Miniatures going away, forums shutting down, the articles aren't popping like they used to. I don't know if they're in trouble. I think it's more just a change of pace in some ways. We did an episode about the miniatures studio going away. I'm not surprised to see them shut the forum down. That seems really kind of like a weird thing they were doing. More like just because it was what you were supposed to be doing instead of what actually makes sense for them. All right, let me get my handy dandy campaign guide. We're on Taskmaster. All right, let's weave a tale. With Absorbed Man in shield custody and Madam Hydra in the wind, you're flying back to the Avengers Tower to plan your next move. When all reality has changed in a flash of yellow light. So we're flying back in a jet and it got blown up. When you reach New York City, you're shocked to find Avengers Tower emblazoned with the Hydra banner, but before you can process what has happened, an explosion rocks your Quinjet and you crash land in the city. On the ground, you find that all of New York is under Hydra rule. Anti-hero propaganda is plastered everywhere, on every corner, and squads of Hydra soldiers patrol the streets. They are led by the notorious Taskmaster, Hydra's new chief of police. He's going door to door hunting down heroes and locking them up. He fired the surface-to-air missile that brought you down, and now he's searching for you. All right. We're playing as Taskmaster on Expert. So, Taskmaster 1 and 2. Remove Taskmaster 1 and add 3 for Expert. So we'll start on stage 2. And he's got 16 per player. I'm in solo mode. I'm going to, a lot of times, act like there's 2 people on accident because I'm so used to playing with Steven. So if I do that, catch me, please. Main scheme, hunting down heroes. Side 1A shows me the content set. Each captive ally a side out of play. So let's get these. Where did you go? There's Electra. So the campaign box came with 4 captive allies. These are some of my favorite things. So as Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol. Let me find this. Experimental weapons. I put these somewhere. There it is. All right, so Taskmaster Hydra Patrol set. Let me see if I can find the other weapon. I think it's in here. I need to pull up my campaign guide. If anyone's here that watched the first stream, I don't remember how many of the experimental weapons got into the deck. Do you guys know if it was all 4? I'm going to assume it was, unless I learn otherwise. Jerome asking, did I put Dropkick in? It's such a good tempo card because you can stun the villain. I'll look at it. Is it aggression? So you have to pay for it using only physical? That's going to be really hard for Spider-Man to do. Steven's saying 3, took a picture on your phone. So I know it was 3 when Steven and I were playing. But was it 3 when I was playing solo? I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 because I'm just not sure. So I have the experimental weapons, Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol, and I have the standard and expert cards. And that's my encounter deck. Steven saying, I watched it this morning. That's hilarious. Let me find it. Do you know which one didn't come out? And you watched the solo half of the campaign, not the one where I was playing with Steven? Oh, and Weapon Master. It's supposed to go. Thanks for that. Chat, MVP. I'm just going to put all 4 in because I don't think it makes a huge difference either way at this point. And I don't know which one didn't go in. We'll just shuffle like normal. Well, I think I was at full health last time. I have it on my note. Yeah, 0 damage carry. Now we're great. I think we are set. So I'm going to flip to Hunting Down Heroes, side 1B. The notorious Taskmaster has been appointed as Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must either put a threat here or take a damage. Okay, and it starts with 1 per player threat. If it gets to 12 per player, I lose the game. Taskmaster Stage 2, when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Force response, after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons. All right, so I don't want to flip that much. I remember that. Mutton Chop, haven't heard anything about what's coming for Outer Rim, but I assume, because we interviewed Steve Horvath right before the pandemic happened, so my assumption is that their plans probably changed dramatically, given that. All right, I'll deal myself an encounter card, and then now I'm going to deal my opening hand, which is hand size of 6. So someone was asking earlier how I decide what to keep. So I'm playing Spider-Man Aggression. Looking to maximize damage. I have a free resource because Peter Parker is a scientist, and he can generate a mental resource. Things I like. Energy. Swinging Web Kick. 8 damage is half of his total health. So I kind of take that when I can. Spider Trace, so there's no minions yet, so that's not going to really do any good for me. Relentless Assault, same thing. Only does damage to minions. Skilled Strike, though, is really good right now. So Spider-Man's standard attack is 2. Basic attack upgrade means it's a 3. Skilled Strike means he's a 5. So if I played Skilled Strike and Swinging Web Kick this turn, I'm going to be doing 13 of the 16 damage to get to the next stage, which is an amazing turn. Now, if I'm going to do Swinging Web Kick, it's unlikely I'm going to play Webbed Up. Webbed Up would be really good. It would buy me 2 turns of no attacks. But honestly, I'm okay with taking some attacks, just to favor tempo. There's only 2 stages of Taskmaster. This is so much damage. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, even if I had Avengers Mansion, I wouldn't keep it in my opening hand, which is usually a sign you shouldn't be playing it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Webbed Up. And we'll keep these 3, and we're going to push for a really aggressive turn 1. Got another Swinging Web Kick. So I have to make some decisions. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my hand. I guess I can play face up. Let's play in a way where you can see my hand. Like this. Seems fine. What doesn't seem fine is these boards are all out of whack. Counter cards, upgrades. All right. James said, will you ever stream Outer Rim? I love Outer Rim. So if they do an expansion or something, I would be very interested in streaming that. You good, Bryce? Okay, great. You were like being aggressive, and I wasn't sure if that was excited about me pounding Taskmaster, Or you couldn't hear me. All right, so let's see. I have a free resource here. I cannot spend that resource on Swinging Web Kick because I have to be in hero mode to play it. So just looking at it, I'm going to spend the energy on Swinging Web Kick plus, let's just say Sentry for now. I have a resource floating. I cannot play the second Web Kick. I just don't have the resources to do it. But because I have a resource and I can spend on this side, what I can actually do is play Valkyrie. And when I play Valkyrie, she's not going to trigger dealing 2 to a minion, but she is going to be able to swing for 2 and give me a blocker, which I lose the skilled strike by playing Valkyrie, which is a +2, but I don't get the ally out of the deal. So that's probably the max turn that I can get, unless I'm missing something. Metroplex, you can't generate this, then flip. So the resource ability generating has to be, that's a moment that only arises when you're trying to play something, when you're trying to actually pay for a cost. So you can't generate and then flip and use it. Otherwise, that'd be pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and use my scientist resource to play Valkyrie. Then she's going to swing for 2. Then I'm going to flip. When I do, Taskmaster discards the top card, and I take damage equal to the boost icons. I assume it has to be on my hero. There's 2 boost icons, so I'll take 2. And then I'm going to play Swinging Web Kick for 3. So I'm going to deal 8. He's going to go down to 6 total health. And then Spider-Man's going to swing. Basic attack upgrade is going to give me 3 attack. So I'm actually going to get him down to 3 health, which means literally next round, as long as Spider-Man's not exhausted somehow, I can finish him with a standard attack. All right, end of the round. We'll ready everything. I'll draw my hand. The hits just keep on coming. Oh, that's really good. So let's start where all good things start. I already did this one. Step 1 of the villain phase will add 1 scheme or 1 threat. And then it says, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose either place a threat here or take a damage. I'm going to go ahead and place a threat. And then we go to the bad stuff. So he's going to engage with me because I'm the first player. I'm the only player. I'm in hero form, so he's going to attack. And now I have some decisions to make. So I technically have a you'll pay for that. If he attacks me, I could draw a card. I will draw a card when he attacks. We'll do that either way. Get a black cat. America's finest. So again, kind of looking through to my next turn, right? A few things going on. I definitely want to have a Swinging Web Kick ready. I could block this attack with Valkyrie, or I could save her and get 2 more damage out of her and then block with her next round. I'm not exactly worried. I have 9 health left. I have +1 because of this basic attack upgrade. The worst thing he could probably flip is a 3, making him 5, taking me up to 7. And I could play You'll Pay for that to remove 3 threat here. But looking at it, if I play Black Cat next round, Black Cat plus Valkyrie can take out Taskmaster. When that happens, I literally, I guess, depends on if I hit anything with Black Cat. Because if I hit at least one thing with Black Cat, I'll also be able to swing Web Kick, which is so much damage. Oh, Blake, you make a really good point. He's saying you could probably beat him within the next 2 turns if you sacrifice getting the 0-cost allies. So I actually may not want to send him away just yet. That's actually really interesting. Oh, man. So am I playing the long game? That can't be right. Jealous saying he believes Hydro Patrol starts in play. Oh, it should start in play. You're right. Gotcha. So it's got 2 on it, and I can't remove threat from here until that's gone. So the thing is, when we flip to Taskmaster 3, he gets better. So I don't even want to flip him out of this form until something changes. Hmm. I mean, what's he got? 17 the next stage, so I could just finish this thing before it matters. Interesting. Oh man. I almost feel like, because I know I'm going to see 2 bad cards here. I already have 1, and I'll get another one. So it's tempting to save a you'll pay for that in case I flip one of the captured allies card, and then basically have him around 1 more turn. Because if I flip down, he's going to scheme too. And I've got, what, 9 threat to go? I mean, honestly, if I swing with Spider-Man 3, and then if I don't even play Black Cat, because I could swing Web Kick toe-to-toe Valkyrie, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's almost enough. Not happening, though. Definitely going to play Black Cat. Okay, so I think this is what I do. I'm just going to take the attack with Spider-Man. So it's 2 plus 3. So I'll take 5. And then do I even do it? No, I think I just hold tight. So I'll take 5, then we'll go to the bad card phase, and we'll deal. I did draw. Taskmaster's Training Camp. After a minute in his play, give it a tough status card. Oh no. Power Gauntlets. After he damages me, discard a card from my hand. All right. So neither of the things came out that I wanted to. So I think I'm just going to run and gun this thing. So I kind of want to play Black Cat after I flip, because I can spend a free resource on her. But let's just do the math. Valkyrie's definitely, well, is she? So Valkyrie swings for 1. If I go ahead and play Black Cat, she swings for 1. We flip to the next mode. And Spider-Man can swing for 5. And as long as I hit 1 with Black Cat, that's what's going to kind of matter here. So let's start there. I'm going to play Black Cat. Discard 2. No mentals hit. Swing for 3. Going to defeat Taskmaster Stage 2. Taskmaster Stage 3 is going to come in with 17. When revealed, display an encounter card. Got it. And then same after a player flips, but now he's a 3/3 on his stats. So Spider-Man's going to swing with a skilled strike for 5. And then I think I hang out. I'm going to flip down to Peter Parker. Then I'll pass. And we'll see if we can get a free ally or not. So first things first, we're going to go 1 threat on. I'm not in hero form, so I don't have to choose that response. Then he's going to scheme for 3 plus a boost, make it 4. And then we're going to go to the encounter cards. I'll get a second encounter card. Oh yeah, draw back up, actually. So then we get 2 bad cards. Master Plan, place 4 threat on each side scheme. It's actually not a bad time. If I flipped into one of the things that I need. Gang Up. I'm in alter ego, so it gains Surge. Hide Regular, Insight 1. It's honestly fine. So what? Taskmaster's got 12 left? I think I'm going to spend 4 on Nick. Actually, let's keep toe-to-toe. I'm going to use my Genius resource to play a Nick Fury for 3. Oh yeah, plus a card from Training Camp. Laser Rifle. So I played Nick for 3, and I'll draw 3. Toe-to-toe, Web Shooter, and Mockingbird. Valkyrie's going to go and swing for 2, and then she's gone. Black Cat's going to swing for 1. Going to go to 9. And then I will flip. I have 11 health. So I'll flip, take the top card, which is 2. We will swing web kick, paying 3, dealing 8. And then I will swing with Spider-Man to defeat Taskmaster, stage 3. Yeah, the minion does need a tough, but I wasn't planning on dealing with that minion either way. So, Spider-Man aggression, what was that? Turn 2? Turn 3? I think it was turn 3, right? You can see why, though, like, Mansion is, like, seems kind of crazy. Technically, I'm going to carry all this damage over. I forgot about that rule. Daniel's saying, okay, so now an obligation. I might. That's a lot of health. Although I can just start and recover. I probably won't do that. So we'll carry on, and I don't think I'm gonna go with an obligation at all. That was crazy fast. That's what I'm saying. The Spider-Man aggression is just like running gun. That was like, I don't know, what, 20 minutes maybe? Crazy. All right. Let's look. Let's read the resolution real quick. Play rescued. I didn't rescue any. I have 2 remaining hit points. So because I have the +1, I'm actually going to end up with 8 damage at the start. Weird math, I know. Black Widow says, what's going on, Taskmaster? How did Hydra conquer New York City? And he says, it's not just New York, babe. Hydra rules all of America now. Madam Hydra brought Zola the Reality Stone. Then the Doctor used its power to put Hydra in charge. Iron Man asks, where's Zola? He set up shop on Ellis Island, and then it cuts to Zola on Ellis Island. Rumor has it he's doing weird experiments there trying to develop the perfect soldier for Hydra. Iron Man says, I've heard enough. Let's go get him. Now let's deal with Zola. A lot of people say he's the most challenging of the villains in the campaign. All right, let's put this here. What are you going to require, Zola? Zola under attack and the standard set. So I have Zola and under attack. Now I need to get the experimental weapons and the standard set out. I'll go ahead and get Hydra Patrol as well on Weapon Master. Just dividing these for later. Thomas says, draw Aunt May on your opening hand next turn. Yeah, I think that would obviously be super good for me. I just am both playing solo and aggression Spider-Man is just like, it amazes me every time just how quickly it goes. Standard. All right. So we have Zola, under attack, standard set, and that's it. All right. Zola stage 2, retaliate 1. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for test subjects, side scheme, and reveal it. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then 1A, the Island of Dr. Zola. Set up, search the encounter deck for Hydra Prison and reveal it. All right. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for Ultimate Bioservant and puts it into play. Engage with them. Lots going on here. They're tough. +1 attack for each attachment on it. Okay. 1B, the Island of Dr. Zola. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Place a test counter here. If there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play. Engage with the first player and remove 3 test counters from this scheme. So every 3rd turn, it's going to automatically go to minion for me. It starts with 0 threat, and at 6 threat, it's going to advance. Daniel's saying not the last one. Do you know what the name of the weapon that I shouldn't have is? When I draw it, I can just discard it. Daniel says not the shield. Let's find it. The exosuit? The energy shield. All right. Setting it aside. Appreciate that. All right. Hydra Prison says, when revealed, each player searches the deck and discard pile and hand. Searches their deck, discard pile in hand for a hero-specific ally in place of... Okay, I got it. Black Cat. It's you. Puts it beneath, place X threat here, where X is the total cost of all allies beneath. So it comes in with 1, and then Black Cat costs 2. So Hydra Prison has 3 on it. Then test subjects, when defeated, the first player discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion, reveal that minion. And it comes in with 2. And every turn I don't get rid of it is an extra card. That's fun. These ultimate bioservants are terrifying. Those teeth are gross. All right, I got some work to do. I think ideal, obviously, would be an Aunt May, so that I could really heal off some of these damage. Honestly, the weaknesses, I don't know. One of them was really, really bad for Captain America. I don't know that they'd be super bad for Spidey. I also don't know if the game's going to go on long enough for it to really matter for him. So it would almost be worth it. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it without it. And he's only got 14 health. See how fast we can melt Zola. All right, so let's go ahead and get my opening hand. Spider-Girl is actually really... Oh, and Aunt May. This is just amazing. Endurance would have been nice last round. There goes a strength to pay for Spider-Girl. Combat train's not bad. Oh my goodness. Look at this hand. So I have a free resource with PD. I could play combat training and Spider-Girl and Aunt May and save a card. Mulliganing one is not going to make a huge difference, honestly. I'm trying to think about what could even change my mind. It would have to be a 0 cost. Like the +2 attack card. PMK says that is the hand. Yeah, between Spider-Girl and Aunt May, it's just amazing. And honestly, combat training makes it where I can get rid of the Bioservant because I can punch with Spider-Girl. But he's stunned and confused, so I may as well leave him for a round. I think. Daniel says, lucky. Yeah, no, that's a really amazing start for me. Well, I'm going to keep. I'm just going to keep that whole hand. And we are going to deal. Now, I wouldn't mind. I think that's what I actually do. Okay. Use my genius resource to play Aunt May. Heal 4. Then I'm going to flip to Spider-Man. I'm going to play Spider-Girl with the strength, and it's going to confuse and stun the ultimate Bioservant. And then Spider-Girl's actually going to thwart. Here. I can't take all of those cards. I'm going to play a combat training on Spidey. And this is the real question. Do I leave it? I may not thwart. So I basically can either remove this tough and take him out with Spidey. I think he's stunned and confused, so I may as well lean into that. I'm probably going to block with Spider-Girl after it's all said and done. Alex Becker, did someone say Bugatti? Yes, I did. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove one here. I'm going to stick to my guns. Spider-Man's going to also thwart. We're going to get another minion. Discard cards until I get one. There it is. Berserk mutate. Immediately take 2 damage. Oh no. Then we will go to the bad guy turn. So we're going to go 1 threat on. And we'll put 1 counter here. And then villains are going to go. So he's going to attack me. I get a hand first. Okay, that's really good. He's attacking, so I draw a card first. Oh, wrong card. I really like Spider Tracer. Get rid of a minion. Remove 3 here. Get Black Cat back in my hand. I think that's really strong. So I'm not going to play the You'll Pay for that because it just seems like overkill. So I will block with Spider Girl. So it's 2 + 1, 3. Thanks for your protection. Then Berserker is going to attack me. I'll take 2. The Bioservant is going to try, but he's stunned. And then we'll go to bad cards. I get 1 bad card. There's another Berserker Mutate. Take 2. Almost 10 damage. Look at that. Crazy. I'm at 10, but I have 11 health because of the basic attack upgrade. And then... so the problem with Black Cat here, by the way, is that she takes Retaliate from Zola, which is no good for anybody. Okay, so that was the turn, and then it's back to me. So here's what I'm looking at. I think if I Spider Tracer something, let's just say I do it here, one of these guys, then I can swing with Spidey to defeat it, clear 3 off of Hydra Prison, get Black Cat back. And then I can flip down, recover 4 with Aunt May, play Black Cat using my free resource and something. And then maybe get more cards back. So I think because of my resources, I'm actually going to end up playing the Queen Carrier. So I'll play the Queen Carrier using 1, 2, 3. Then I'll use the Queen Carrier to attach a Spider Tracer. We'll swing with Spider Tracer to defeat here. When I do that, it'll clear 3 threat. Hydra Prison goes away. Black Cat comes back to hand. Then I'm going to flip down. Use Aunt May, recover 4. Use my free resource and this card to play Black Cat. When I do that, I discard the top 2. There goes Hulk. She's going to swing and take off this tough token. And then we'll go to the end of the round. So we'll read everything up, draw my full hand. Great. That's a solid hand. All right, so start of the turn, we'll put 1 threat on, get 1 more counter here. This readies. And then scheme. So he'll scheme for 2 + 3. It's going to go 5, which means we're advancing. To 2A, the Mad Doctor. Zola mutates, attack you with blind obedience and savage fury. It's up to you to put an end to the nightmare before the Mad Doctor unleashes them upon the world. When revealed, these players search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion reveals it. Search the encounter or shuffle the encounter deck. Seems like a good mutate time. From discard pile, he has quick strike, but I'm not in hero mode, so it's not going to do anything. And yeah, the Mad Doctor 2B. Force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place a test counter here. Then if there are 3 or more, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion to play engage with you. This comes into play with 1 per player. Gets to 8 and I lose. So can't let that happen. Nice, Aaron. Appreciate the support. So this could be at the time to use my upgrade to do 5 damage to the villain each minion engaged with me. It's a laser cannon. Use it once though, then it's gone, which is not good for business. But I do have a few things going here. So he schemed, the Berserker scheme, nothing happens. The Bio Servant schemes for 1. Then we go bad cards. There's another Berserker mutate. I am feeling more and more like this is the moment. So on my turn, I have a free resource and nothing to do with it. But I can do a ton of damage. So if I flip, I'm swinging for 4. I have a web kick. So one thing I like here is I can play toe-to-toe with my Queen Carrier. He'll attack me, I'll draw a card. And then I can backflip out of the damage and do 5 back to him. And then I know I can do 5 to everything. So then he's at 4 left. I can swing for 4, flip him to his next stage, and still have enough to pay for swinging web kick. Oh, it doesn't scheme because the minion's confused. Appreciate that. Chat, you the MVP. Metroplex asking, does it keep the tokens from the first stage, these counters? I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, well, let's go with my plan. I'm going to recover for 4 with Aunt May. She's so good. So good. She has healed 12 damage for 1 resource this game. Just putting that out there. We'll flip the old Spider-Man. Then let's go ahead and use the Queen Carrier to play toe-to-toe. So he attacks me. When he does, I draw a card. Oh man, drew the other swing web kick. And then he'll attack me for 2, plus I'll take it. It's a Zola's Mutate. It just shuffles back into the deck. So I might not even backflip out of that, because it's just 2. I'm just going to take the 2. Doesn't seem worth the trouble. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Laser Cannon. 5 damage to all these minions. 5 to Zola, so he's at 9. And he takes 5 from me taking that attack. So he was at 14, 5, 10. He should be at 4 left. Spider-Man's going to swing for 4, defeating him so I don't take the retaliate. Going to stage 3. When you reveal each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. Let me look at the deck and see what I got. Don't like Zola's Mutate. Where's the weak minions? All right, I think I'm going to get a Servant. So he's tough. Aaron Clark saying, what a turn. Yeah, I love it. Spider-Man aggression in solo is just amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. Would recommend. All right. So 16 and I'm out of here. I'm so close. I'm going to save that web kick. The second one. And in fact, it doesn't even really matter. All right, I'm going to play a swinging web kick for 3. This is an attack, so he will retaliate against me. But he's going to take 8. So he's going to go down to 8 total health. And I literally have a web kick in the wings with a backflip. And I can cancel the card if there's any bad effects. I can get out of damage, and I can seal the game next round. Black Cat's just going to do 1 to the Bioservant to get rid of the tough. And then we're going to go to the end of the round. So end of the round, everything ready? And we'll put 1 threat on. We'll get a 3rd counter, so we're going to get another minion. Discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until the minion is discarded. Let's see what we get. Zola's Mutate. When revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until attack is discarded. Attach it to the Mutate. Pain inhibitors. Attached to the minion with the most remaining hit points. That's the Mutate. +2 health and gains retaliate 1. Okay. And then I should have a full hand. That's so much damage. Then the villain's going to attack me. So when he attacks me, I'll draw a card. More damage. I'm going to go ahead and just take the swing. So it's 2 plus 3. So I'll backflip out of all 5 of that damage. And then the Bioservant's going to attack me for 1. I'll take it. The Mutate's going to attack me for 2. I'll take it. Then we go to the bad card. Flips, Mind Ray, when revealed, Zola attacks you. You are stunned. Don't mind me. I'm going to play Enhanced Spidey Sense with my Queen Carrier to cancel the when revealed effects. All right, and then we are going to my turn. So really the only downside here is that I have 8 damage. I can knock him out here with a swing whip kick. Or I can do 1 with Black Cat. So if I can get him to 7 and flip down and recover, can I do that? I need him to have 1 more health. I can Skilled Strike for 6. Not quite. 5, not quite. Yep, no good way. No good way. I could, nah, that's not worth the risk. I either need to have 1 more or 1 less health. Math. Yeah, I think I just finish it. We're going to swing Web Kick for 8. We're going to carry over 8 damage and live dangerously and hope I draw Aunt May on the next the finale. And I think this happened fast enough. My goodness. I feel like I talked for a while before we even started. Steve made me a drink. He popped in and waved. I was catching up with people because it's the new year. And somehow, I mean, it's not even 3 o'clock. This is crazy. This is just crazy. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Let's read the campaign victory because there's weird stuff going on. Each player engaged with an enemy records they are engaged with an enemy in the campaign log. Oh no, I'm engaged with enemies. If Hydra Prison Side Scheme, it's not still in play. If Hydra Prison Side Scheme is not in play, each player in their hero form may replace their basic condition with the upgraded. So I get to flip it. Now I'm +1 attack, +1 hit point, and after I defeat a minion, I get to exhaust improved attack upgrade to draw a card. I have 3 remaining hit points, so I'm going to start with 7 damage on the next campaign. Let's read about it. Cap says, "Where's the stone, Zola?" Zola says, "The Red Skull has it. Mine heir in his fortress." And now we're at the White House. It looks like Hydra, the Hydra house. "What was once your precious White House now belongs to the Red Skull." Red Skull, "What progress have you made toward my ultimate design?" One of the scientists says, "We will soon be able to use the stone to conquer the world." Hair Skull. And then one of his goonies runs in and says, "Supreme Leader, we are under attack." Cap yells, "Avengers assemble." And then Red Skull says, "Keep working. I'll deal with the Avengers." Scenario number 5, Red Skull, you have liberated Zola's island and disarmed the Mad Doctor, but the reality gem still eludes you. You learn from Zola that the gem resides with the true mastermind behind Hydra's ascendancy, the brilliant and nefarious Red Skull. The villain has taken up residence in Washington, D.C. and transformed the White House into his personal fortress. But Red Skull's ambition for conquest does not end with the USA. He plans to bind every nation under Hydra rule with the power of the reality gem. His scientists work around the clock to make the necessary modifications to Zola's machine. Once completed, Red Skull will use the reality gem to conquer the whole world. If that happens, nobody will be safe from the types of atrocities you witnessed in Zola's labs. You cannot allow this to happen. You must defeat Red Skull and use the reality gem to set things right again. Let's go ahead and clear Zola. I just can't believe how quickly this is happening. All right, let's grab all the Zola cards. One of the fun parts of gaming is the cleanup phase. If you can't feel my sarcasm, well, it's there. I'm curious, from everyone watching, how many of you guys play solo on a regular basis? And how often are you just like this, where it's just like go, 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 go? Versus, I feel like if I was playing Justice, I would probably obviously be a little more controlling. Spider-Man Aggression is not built for that life, though. But yeah, I mean, if you play solo, I'm curious how this stacks up to your experience. Mark saying he always plays solo. Yoda's Hut, I pretty much only play solo. Quad is saying I only play solo. PMK solo. Wow. GT Lime saying I play solo a lot. I do it to wind down. Huh. That's really interesting. It makes me wonder, because you know, one of the common comedic moments on our stream is people saying we should play Spycraft, and I was just saying no. So I know that before the pandemic, I was playing a lot of 3 and 4 player, and when we first started streaming, I consistently felt like my valuation of cards was way different in 2 player than it was in the other modes. And I assume, based on what I'm seeing here, right, how I'm viewing some of these cards in solo is radically different. Stefan saying, usually I watch the Arkham Horror LCG videos of Covenant, but since I got Marvel Champions for Christmas, I'm catching up on Marvel Champions. I play a lot of solo both. Fate saying, from what I hear, most people in the community play true solo or two-handed. Kenneth saying, the vast majority of my play is solo. Yeah, Yoda's Hat saying, with isolation, it's hard to play much beyond solo. Yeah, I mean, I think as a solo experience, it's nice having everyone to chat with while I'm playing. But this is definitely like a fun, it's a very different experience. I'll say that much, but it's very fun. All right, let's see. Encounter deck, Red Skull. Let's get all my Red Skull cards. He's got his setup here. This is all Red Skull, yep. Red Skull and New World Hydra. I don't know. Have I? Oh, that's the... got it. Encounter deck, Red Skull, Hydra Assault, Hydra Patrol, Hydra Assault, Hydra Patrol, and Standard, plus the Experimental Weapons, plus the Red Skull cards. All right. Red Skull Stage 2, 3 scheme, 1 attack with a special. Red Skull gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Fun. Riser Red Skull, 1A. Set up, put the red house into play. Shuffle every other side scheme into the side. Oh, man, I just made a big mistake. All right, so side schemes form their own little deck. I remember this now. And an expert, there's the red house. An expert, you only get 1 shot against Red Skull. So it's now or never. So the Red Skull says, put the red house into play, shuffle every other side scheme into the side scheme deck, and set it next to the encounter deck. Set the sleeper aside out of play. Made the mistake twice. I've played this a few times now. I do feel like one of the upsides of solo is like, I played on we had a break a couple months ago. A sleeper? What? He's not in here. I played on break a couple months ago with an off camera, there he is, crew. And we played an entire campaign in 1 day. But I feel like in solo, like that is so much more realistic to do. Drunk Physics saying, I miss the Netrunner streams. Do you ever stream it anymore? Yeah, we streamed it a couple times last year on some throwbacks. It's one of our favorite games, so it's not exactly a challenge for us to want to get it to the table. What up, Keith? Happy New Year, man. Stefan, sorry, there's not a way to get that strategy guide unless you buy the core set from us. It's exclusive to that, so we don't want to break that promise to the people that bought the core set. Blake says, I'd focus on defeating him as fast as possible since Spider-Man isn't strong at thwarting. Yeah, that is kind of my strat. The Red House side scheme. Red Skull can't take damage. What? When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. So yeah, I got to get that off the table. Then we got to deal with Red Skull, who starts with 16 health. As we've seen in the past couple of games, that is not a lot. All right. Riser Red Skull 1B. Red Skull plans to conquer the world with the power of the Reality Stone. He uses his strategic genius to keep you busy while he works towards his goal. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. This enters play with 0 scheme on it. Once it gets to 8, we go to the next stage. And I'm going to flip back to PD. Looking for Aunt May again, obviously, to heal quickly. So basically, there's going to be a side scheme every round. If I can finish this in 2 or 3 rounds, it's going to be best. I know some of the side schemes are really bad for you. Some are not so bad. One of them brings out the Sleeper, who I do not want to see. Aaron Clark asking, is everyone ready for WandaVision on Disney+? I'm actually very much looking forward to that show. Jay saying, hopes we get back to DBZ for a throwback. Glad you enjoyed it. That's one of my favorite childhood games. All right, let's will Aunt May to the top of this deck. Yeah, when does Absorb Man's counters trigger for me? So I deal myself an encounter card. All right, let's look at my hand. Hey, we got Hulk and a swinging web kick. And a backflip. Oh no, 2 swinging web kicks. That's too many, too fast. Not what we want. So there's no allies. I can play Hulk for 1. And I can definitely get a swinging web kick going. Yoda's saying hard mulligan for Aunt May. Yeah, I start with threat equal to counters. This hit campaign. Each player searches deck for setup. External. Yeah, so it starts with 4 on it because I had 4 delay counters. There it is. Thanks for catching that. Ben Sweeney saying we didn't get a chance to talk about Mandalorian Season 2. It's fantastic. Some of the best Star Wars ever, easily. Oh boy. So I don't think I'll keep backflip. Technically, if I draw a 2, that would be very good for me. So Spider Tracer is not doing anything for me here. Skilled Strike could be really good, and I'm remiss to throw away a swinging web kick. Just because. So I think I'm going to get rid of 2. Although I'm not going to play 2 swinging web kicks. I have to get rid of 1. Aunt May is just game breaking here if I can get her. So we'll see. Counterattack. You'll pay for that. Enhanced Spidey sense. All right, let's look at this. So I can play Hulk for 1. And then I can basically swing web kick. So I think I recover Hulk. Hulk will get rid of this. Swing web kick for 8 into Red Skull. Let's do it. Cover for 3. Play Hulk for 1. Switch this. Hulk will swing for 3 here. And then we'll flip a lightning. So we'll all take 1. And then I will flip. We're going to play a swinging web kick for 8. So he's going to go down to 7. And I have a Hulk ally if I need it. Red House says, when a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. Is that not possible? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could do it, but if I can't, that is going to be a very different turn. Yeah, David's saying I did it right. I'm going to go with it for now, and we'll just roll. David Peterson, Hulk can't thwart due to a dash. I can see that. Rules. So if that's the case, let's reset. This was the discard. So basically he has a dash, which means he can't thwart at all to get rid of that red house, which changes my game plan quite a bit. David's saying, it says you can... So I think the deal is with the red house is to interrupt says when a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead. So Hulk can't even begin to thwart because he has the dash. What up, William? Happy New Year. David Whitfield, it makes sense that Hulk would smash into the red house. Yeah. That's right. Dart saying I should have 2 encounter cards, one from Red Skull, one from Zulu's allies you didn't kill. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so let's think about this. So I still think I play Hulk. I have 2 more damage. What up, Will? Young, Happy New Year to you as well, man. So I have to thwart with Spider-Man to do damage. So no recovery. That's what you're saying. All right, we'll flip. We'll thwart using my attack instead. We'll get rid of the red house. Well, before I flip, I'll play Hulk for -1. So really, it's just more damage and less health. So then Hulk swings for 3. It's going to end up being 4 because I have a lightning bolt. I'll take an extra. And then I'll swinging web kick for 8, taking him down to 4 health. And that is what we'll do. Then we'll draw and look for a backflip. Did not get a backflip so far. That is a hilariously not great draw. Will Young, Wasp is not out yet. Okay, so we'll put 1 threat on per player. Then he's going to attack me. Before I do that, actually. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme die. Hydra Reinforcements. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. So it comes in with 2. An extra encounter card, which will be fun this round because I'm going to have 4. Cross my fingers. That could be horrible for me. So he's going to attack. He's at 1. +1 for each side scheme, so he's at 2. I draw a card. There's an Aunt May at least. I have a way maybe out of this. So he's at 2. I'm going to go ahead and block with Spider-Man. So 2 plus special. If I'm in hero form, the villain attacks you after this activation. Do not deal any boost cards for that attack. That's actually just fine. So I'm going to not take any because I blocked. Then he attacks me at 2. I'm going to go ahead and block with Hulk, knowingly taking 2. And then hope he doesn't draw an attack in one of these 4 cards that he has, because that could just be the end of the game. Power Gauntlets. Assault. He attacks me. I get a card. I have 3 health. He's at 2. That's mine. Boost card. Plus 2. 4. I'm dead. Campaign over. Got axed. Well, that's one way to end a campaign. What time is it? I'm going to try that again because that took me all of 8 minutes. Oh yeah, I would have drawn one more card technically. If it had been a backflip, I would have lived. But we will just start over and see. Fabian, this is not heroic. This is expert. Expert solo. Yeah, I think I should probably, going into this last game, have just taken an obligation. So it's an obligation for a single game, and I get a heal completely, and not risked it. But I did risk it. Daniel, the beauty of playing this game is you can do whatever you want. Other cards to my left. All right. Let's go ahead and take an obligation. Like I should have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take a random. So the way it works is I can take a random obligation going into a game and heal all the leftover damage that I had. So grab this one. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to get surprised by it in the middle of the game. Daniel, I know. On expert, if you lose to Red Skull, it's over. Be crisp. You got time for me to start over, Bryce? Can you imagine why I went from the start? It's just too much work. We would end up in this point in the game anyway. Dart again, yeah, that's right. It's a what if scenario. Like the isn't there a what if show or a Visions show coming? All right, I took an obligation. I fully healed. This is the time when I draw Aunt May. That's right, PMK. All right, so I got 2 you'll pay for that, and it starts with 4, and this starts with 3. I don't think I'm going to use that on the first turn, although toe-to-toe is pretty good. So I can basically toe-to-toe to do 5, and then you'll pay for that to remove threat. I might keep that combo. I'm definitely keeping the Genius. So Skilled Strike I would normally keep, but I think I'm going to have to flip and use my attack to thwart the red house away. So we'll get rid of 1, you'll pay for that, and 1 enhanced Spidey Sense, because I can't save it that long. We'll draw 2. There's a Swinging Web Kick. and a Valkyrie. All right, so let's think about this, because I have a free resource, so I could play Valkyrie, have a blocker. Then I could flip, and I can either toe-to-toe, take some damage. You'll pay for that. Remove the threat. And he should be at 16. Or I can just remove the threat, swinging web kick. Not worry about the main scheme threat, which I'm honestly not overly worried about at this point. I just want to turn and burn. So I'll use my resource to play Valkyrie. Then I will flip. I'll use my attack to get rid of the red house. And then I will swing web kick for 8. I'll swing a Valkyrie for 2 more. And then we will go to the next round. Okay. Start of the round, we'll put 1 threat on. We'll get a side scheme. Let me shuffle these. Yeah, and I have 2 encounter cards. See you, Daniel. Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places a threat here for each different resource type discarded this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All lightning and fists. So it's going to be a 2 threat. Okay, and then we'll go to Red Skull. He's going to attack. He's a 2 attack. When he attacks me, I'll draw a card. So I can basically next turn Nick Fury and swinging web kick, which is going to be 4, 5, 6, and then 8 on his next stage, which is pretty good. So I'm just going to take the damage. So it'll be 2 plus a boost, special. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost. Plus 2. He's tough. It's annoying. So he's a 4. I'll take 4 damage. And then we go to the bad cards. So I only get 3 because the side scheme didn't come out. Red Skull's right hook. Attached to Red Skull, he gains Retaliate 1. I can spend 1 of each type to discard it. Assault. He attacks me. I'll get a card. There's Hulk. At this point, I'm going to block with Valkyrie. He'll get a 2 boost plus 2. Thanks for playing the game. Gang up. When revealed, the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. So I get another card. He's at least loading me up. 2 plus. He's tough. Do I block? It's the same thing as recovering. So I won't block. 2 plus 2, take 4. Then it's our turn. So things I'm looking at. I guess I could enhance Spidey Sense one of those. To just cancel the attack. No, we'll let it fly. So I'm looking at spending 3 on Nick Fury and my other side. I could wipe this out. I think I actually have to save. Yeah. I'm going to play Nick Fury for 4 and draw 3. I keep drawing all my web kicks. Nick's going to punch. Take away the tough. And he's got retaliate, so he'll take an extra. Oh, man. We'll go ahead and swing your web kick for 8. It defeats him, so I won't take a retaliate. Stage 3, when revealed, Dilly's playing a counter card. He has 20 health. He's a 3/2, +1 attack for each size game in play. And then I'll flip down, recover for 3, use my resource to play a Hulk. And I'm in alter ego, so even if I get rid of Nick, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Hulk. So we'll do 3. Take 1 consequential, 1 from retaliate, and we'll flip a fist. So we'll do 2 more to Red Skull. And now we're on a clock. End of the round, read everything, draw back up. Backflip not exactly doing anything for me here. What up, Niccolo? All right, so we're going to go 1 threat on. Then we reveal the top scheme. The sleeper awakened. Can't leave play while the sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the sleeper into play engaged with the first player. When the sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Yikes. So we got 5 health, guard, retaliate, and tough. When revealed, the sleeper engages the first player. When defeated, remove him from the game. Okay. And then bad guy stuff. So he's going to scheme for 3, 4, 5. It's going to advance. And we'll see how bad this gets. Agenda 2A. New World Hydra. The Red Skull is 1 step closer to unlocking the full power of the Infinity Stone. You need to stop him before he does, and all reality is bent to his evil will. When revealed, reveal the top scheme and the side scheme deck and put it into play. Hydra Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. I'm going to tell you what. Those probably aren't going anywhere. 2B. New World Hydra. Same thing. If it's completed, I lose the game. And then play with 1 on it. And we'll see if I can do 13 damage in the meantime. Plus, I have to get rid of the sleeper, so that's fun. Okay. And then bad cards. So I deal a card, and that's it. Now I look at the 2. Advance. He schemes for 3, 4. Uh-oh. It's at 5. Hydra Exo Soldier. He's tough. It seems like an ignore situation to me. Although Hulk could really do some damage here. Nick Fury's going to go away. All right. Well, let's start here. Relentless Assault is good. I like Black Cat for 1. And then we can see if we get any mental. Before I play anything, though, I think I need to swing with Hulk. Although I'm getting rid of the tough. I think that's the play. All right. I'm going to play Spider-Girl for 1, using my genius. When she enters play, I'm going to stun and confuse this thing. Then she's going to swing and knock off the tough from the sleeper and get retaliated off the board. Then Hulk's going to swing. 1 plus retaliate, 3 here. And we'll flip a card. It's a physical, so we'll deal 2 more to the sleeper. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to flip because I have this hero response. So 2 to sleeper. He's gone, as is the sleeper awakened. I'll exhaust improved attack upgrade to draw a card. And then I will spend 2 on Black Cat. Or just Relentless Assault. I need to ignore this. That's true. Let's back that up. Instead of Hulk swinging at sleeper, I play Relentless Assault on the sleeper. Is that right? Yeah. Relentless Assault on the sleeper. To get rid of it, same chain, draw the card. And then Hulk swings instead at Red Skull, flipping the physical, so we do 5 total. Then Spider-Man's going to swing. Oh, that's why, because of retaliate. Let's back it up completely. Let's keep Relentless Assault. I think this is the way. I want the Hulk body. So he's just going to take out the sleeper like I did. And then I'm going to go ahead and play Black Cat here. And if I draw a mental, that's fine. I didn't. So then Black Cat is going to go ahead and attack for 1 on Red Skull, and she'll take a retaliate. Spider-Man's going to swing for 4. He'll take a retaliate. So I'm down to 10. And I have 2 bodies just in case. Then we'll go ahead and go to the next phase. So I'm digging for a lot of damage here. We'll keep Relentless Assault just in case. That is not a ton, but he's at 10. I think I can maybe get there. Hulk ends it the same way. Yeah, because I took retaliate from the sleeper, right? Okay, so let's rewind. This was my hand. This was not my hand. They ended up getting discarded. So I think, and this was discarded too, because I had 6. It's not that. I think this is where I was at. That makes sense. So Hulk hasn't done anything. Sleeper's back. And he was tough, right? So Yeah, he was tough still, right? I had Spider-Girl not webbed up. Okay. And I played Spider-Girl though, right? Oh, I ended up playing her here. I get it. I had a resource. I'm with it. I'm with it now. So I had these 6. Yeah, I played Spider-Girl. Knocked Tough off. She went away. And I spent 1 resource on it. And then this is, I believe, my hand. This is gone. So then I can flip. And I can play Relentless Assault. Okay, so Spider-Man had 1 less damage because I had to retaliate. And how many health was Red Skull at? He was at like 15? Is that right? So I do think this is, backflip is the equivalent of having an ally. So I Relentless Assault here. So I Relentless Assault to get rid of Sleeper. And then I get a trigger to draw a card. That's where it all happened. And it would have been one of these cards. I think that was the counterattack I ultimately drew, which doesn't much matter. Then Hulk swung, doing 1 and 2, and flips a physical, so he does 5. And then Spider-Man swings, take and retaliate, but now I do 4, so now he's down to 6. That's a way better turn, because I basically just have to survive, and I have a backflip. So already, everything, we'll discard the counterattack. Well, and draw. Double backflip. That makes me feel way better. So I just need to not lose, essentially. GT Lime, it was double physical on top of my deck, so it was going to hit no matter what happened. First things first, we're going to put a threat on. Next, this comes into play. Hydra Reinforcements. Yikes. And then the villain's going to go. So he's going to attack. And I draw a card. Nope, bad. That's wrong. Now I get a bonus encounter card. Ooh, and it's my martial law weakness. The last card in the deck. My hand size is reduced by 1. Plus I get a bad card. He'll get 2 plus 3 side schemes. He's at a 5, 6, 7, and I'll backflip out of it. And then the Exosoldier attempts to attack, but he's stunned. And then I'll draw 2 bad cards because I flipped that Hydra Reinforcement. And we'll see what we get. Hydra Soldier Regular in Sight 1. Red Skull's Luger. Piercing Ranged. Not going anywhere. Exosuit. +1 scheme, +1 attack. Then it's back over to me. And I basically need to do 6. I don't think anything's stopping me. So I will swing for 4. And then I'll finish it with Hulk with 3. Plus he discards himself. Red Skull is defeated on attempt number 2. That went significantly better. Victory. Hydra's defeated and the players win the campaign in this alternate universe. Turn the page to read the conclusion. Cap, I found the stone. I believe I can use it to undo Hydra's reality. Do it, Tony, Cap yells. And then, woof, you see him use the stone. Then they're flying back to the tower. It's good to be home. Verily another glorious victory to celebrate. I'm going to guess that's Thor as he's flexing in this hilarious picture. Cap, what's bothering you, Tony? Tony says, Hydra nearly conquered the world with that stone. What if there are more stones out there? Bum, bum, bum. And there it is. the end of the campaign. A handful of thoughts there that are crazy. I got wrecked that first game against Red Skull. That did not go well. I think it's obvious taking that obligation going into the last game. I got real scared of the obligations after our first campaign, and I'm going to flip to the full camera really quick. Hold on. But I think, going into the last scenario, you're only going to go through especially in solo, you're only going to go through your deck once or twice. So the odds of you seeing one of these obligations and it being significant is probably pretty low. So that's a pretty good time, especially the strategy I was doing, which is kind of run and gun, to go ahead and take an obligation in that last scenario. But having those scenarios or those obligations are pretty rough. So taking it, on this anywhere from the first to the third scenario is pretty bad. Once you kind of know what they're doing. So I probably wouldn't do that, but in general, I think going to that last scenario, it's 8 health is worth it. Dart again saying, I think you have to be full health for Red Skull or it's a bad time. Yeah, I agree. Aaron Clark saying, I think this game is really at its best at 2, but I have no interest in two-handed. It's just too much for me. I really like 2-player co-op, just end up playing most games solo. Yeah, I do think that most games are, for me, more enjoyable playing with other people. But I definitely respect the fact that this game can be played true solo, like I just did this campaign. And it can also be played two-handed. I think the value in a game when you can play both with people and alone skyrockets. The pandemic obviously making that even more the case, but in general, a lot of people have trouble regularly getting out to play these things, whether it's kids or life or finding people to play with. And so getting to engage with it and play with it, even when you don't have those opportunities, is super important, I think, for the success of a lot of games. David saying he enjoys 2 to 3 players. I do too. I really enjoyed. Right before the pandemic, we had a 4-player game that we played, and it was just a lot of fun. It was super social, and none of us were in a rush, so I think that's important. But it's a very different experience, and some of the turns you can have with 4 players, crazy through the roof. Blue Rangers, this game is replayable as Arkham Horror. In some ways, I think it's more replayable because it's more like. Trying to think of a good comparable. Arkham to me, a lot of it is figuring out that story, and I think the return to boxes are really helpful. And each story I could see wanting to play a couple times with different characters just to get a feel for the different routes you can take, like Carcosa, Conviction, or Doubt. You can go either way. But in this case, like I can jam against the same villain, the same campaign a lot, and not feel because it's less story driven. So less of it is about discovering the story for the first time and more about just I get to fight Red Skull with whatever hero I want to fight, and it kind of feels like I'm fighting Red Skull every time. Stefan saying, congrats, I'm off later. Hey, Stefan, thanks for being here. Timothy Turner, thanks for sharing these videos. It's crazy times at the moment and wearing for a lot of people. You guys take me away from life stresses. Thanks from the UK. Tim, it's so amazing to hear that. I was saying at the start of the stream, but to get the chance to do what we do every day and for it to bring as much value seemingly to people that are watching as it seems to be doing, and from what people are saying, is truly an honor. It's a privilege and an honor to be here, so thanks for sharing that. Amon saying, is there an issue about only having one aspect because you're playing solo? I think it's just different. I think every hero has to find a way to kind of do a little bit of, you either have to be doing so much damage you can win before threat's an issue, or depending on the hero you're playing, you need to be kind of capable of damage and threat control, right? So if you're playing a hero that doesn't have much, doesn't have a very high scheme or thwart value, then justice and leadership are probably kind of necessary because they can deal with threat. Or you can go all in like I did here with Spider-Man aggression, just straight damage the whole time. Or if you have a lot of threat control, like Captain America is a really good example of this. He has 2 thwart, and he can do twice in a turn. Plus he's got the determination card that gives him +1 thwart. So like he can remove a ton of threat without really needing threat cards. So he can actually also go all in on aggression or leadership and kind of play that game. So I think it depends on the hero that you're playing with. Dart again, that's totally right. Saying Arkham really wants you to play a full campaign, while Champions just lets you jam games, adapt, rebuild, etc. I definitely think that's correct. Where Arkham is a way bigger commitment, where Champions feels like I can watch a single episode. And it's the kind of thing where like you can kind of have like The Office on all the time, where it's what my wife does. You don't necessarily need to be super, you don't need to watch certain episodes in a row. I can turn on any episode of The Office and just enjoy it because I've seen it all and it's all just funny. Whereas like if you're not just gonna watch a random 20-minute clip of a movie. Retro, no, you're totally right. Cards like You'll Pay for That definitely are covering previous weaknesses of some of these aspects. Fatebreaker is saying, hey Zach, there's been rumblings that WASP might be delayed to the end of the month. Any news on that? Yeah, all we know at this point is that it's been delayed. I was answering that at the top of the video. If you're a subscriber and you've been charged for that, it'll be on the way as soon as we can get it on the way to you. We don't know what's going on or when exactly to expect it, but we'll keep you posted on what's going to happen there. I'm sad. I'm really looking forward to the team-ups, particularly Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but even Wasp and Ant-Man I think will be fun playing them together. All right, last chance for questions before I get out of here. This has been super fun. Playing Spider-Man Aggression is such a different game than I think Steve and I typically play. Where I think we play more control, which is like we want to get to a board state where we're consistently outpacing the villain. And in this case, it was like, just go. Aaron Clark, any news on Ash's release? Expecting something this week. Today's my first day in the office, so I haven't quite got my bearings yet. But last we heard was January, and we're waiting for kind of a final confirmation update, but also expecting something to come through the woodwork this week. Thomas saying, can't wait for Wednesday solo Skytear playthrough. I may watch Tuesday to say hi. Well, you're obviously welcome. I'll be doing some Flesh and Blood deck building. It'll be a pretty easy, light stream tomorrow. Then Wednesday, we're doing the Skytear solo. I'm trying that format out. And then Thursday, I'm doing the solo Middle-earth CCG. So it'll be a fun week. Cage McClure, well, Blue Ranger says, worth it to buy extra heroes. I like all the heroes. So if you have favorite heroes, I'd definitely grab them. Let's see, there's some questions. A lot of questions. You guys are awesome. Nicolo, any updates on the spider tokens? Soon. As soon as we can. If you're on the community texting platform we use, we'll notify you there. We'll probably also send an email to the Champions customers about that. And we're working. There's just some production issues with it that we had to solve before we could start actually producing them. Yoda said, appreciate the compliments. KH McClure. Yo, Zach, just adding on my thanks to the streams. You seem a lot more comfortable than at the beginning of lockdown. Great work. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of streaming, so it definitely just becomes kind of normal. I don't know. It's funny to think about. I remember when it first started, I never would have thought 9-10 months later we would still be doing this. Dartigan says, great stream as always. First one I've caught in a while, so great to catch some champions. Happy to have you back. William, are holiday tokens still available? So they're out of stock. Sign up for the wait list. We'll have those back as soon as we can. We had some production issues with that we had to solve as well, which I think we've finally done or we're close to doing, so stay tuned. David, idea what crazy deck Steve wants to play next week? No, but we'll probably be getting back into Kang, trying to defeat that on Heroic. So we got so close last time, we'll probably try a similar strategy just a couple times to see if we can get it to work. Fatebreaker, thanks for the update in the stream. Always love watching you guys and hope you stay safe through the new year. Appreciate that. Happy to have you here. Thanks for participating. Thomas, great week for solo. Yeah, it is going to be a solo kind of week. GT Lime, thanks for a fun stream. Zach, happy to be here. Thank you guys all so much for being here. As I said earlier, it's a privilege, and the support we've been receiving over the past 9-10 months has been incredible. So we'll keep at it, and I'll be back all week. Steven's gone all week, so in case you missed it, today was Champions. Tomorrow is Flesh and Blood deck building and discussion. Wednesday is solo Skytear, trying out that new mode, and then Thursday I'll be throwing back to the Middle-earth CCG. Anytime Steven's gone, that's going to be a favorite of mine to throw back to for solo. Aaron Clark saying, thanks for putting the solo content for this week. I'm happy to be back. I missed all of you guys, and I'm super excited to be here. Kenneth, appreciate the kind words. All you guys, way too kind. We appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. There's some buttons I need to hit. I forgot about that. And I'll be back tomorrow. So even if you don't play Flesh and Blood, you can come hang out and chat. It'll be deck building tomorrow. I won't be playing. So I'll have a ton of time to just answer questions and chat about whatever you guys want to talk about. So I'll see you there. Stay safe. It was great having you. And we'll see you next week for Kang, or maybe later this week for some more solo streams. See ya.